What's up, everybody? And I'm a little bit late on this review. Had some computer problems last night, so now I am doing AEW Dynamite review. I wanted to do both of those back to back. Well, between SmackDown and AEW. The SmackDown review will be on soon enough, but like I said, computer problems last night. But we're still gonna do the AEW review right now. I have no idea what's going on. I need to take this thing to go get fixed. It looks like. But AEW tonight, which I believe this show is taped, because if you kind of look at it, I think this was a tape show because the crowd obviously they went back to the design where when they didn't have fans and whatnot. Because for 2 weeks we did see fans on the show on AEW, but this week they went back to just having the spectator wrestlers. And you notice how the camera, or maybe the hard camera, most likely, never pointed near the crowd area and whatnot, only to the side because I think there was no people. So I think it was off on a closed set this time with this show. But yeah, this was taped tonight. We did kick it off with Matt Hardy in the ring with Jack Evans and Angelico. Basically, Matt talked about how Christian Cage's career, he's never going to recover. He's been trying to follow my career for years now, but I've made more money than him in this business. And now Angelico is going to take him down tonight. Basically, we get Christian Cage versus Angelico to kick off the show. Um, Not bad. Really good match with Christian. Christian won with the kill switch. We don't really see enough of Angelico or Jack Evans and whatnot. It wasn't a bad match. Honestly, the only reason I've ever seen these guys was on Lucha Underground. And I like Jack Evans, but the guy just botches like crazy out here nowadays for some reason. But Christian, like I say, he ended up getting the win. Jack Evans came in and, went to attack Christian after him, but Christian dodged him. He ended up knocking Evans outside the ring. Matt Hardy came in with a twist of fate. And as Hardy was about to put him in submission, Jungle Boy came out for the save. And, the heels ran off then after that. But not a bad match to kick off the show with both Christian and Helico. So good stuff, good stuff. But obviously this is leading to Matt Hardy versus Christian at some point in time in this feud. So we'll see where that goes. Next, Tony Schiavone was in the ring to talk about QT Marshall, or I think he's now being called QT Marshall, which I feel like I've heard that from somewhere. I think you may know where I've heard it from. But him and Aaron Solo will face Cody Rhodes and Brock Anderson, Arn Anderson's son, next week. Why am I still seeing this feud? So Cody and them came out, and they bring Arn's son out there, and Cody out on the mic talked about how Brock was going to hit a home run next week, and talked about he's going to live up to his father's expectations, and Brock's going to do good out there next week. But Cody talked about he doesn't mind getting revenge next week after what happened last week with QT, and he was beaten by Anthony Ogogo, not QT Marshall. But QT came out saying, I beat you all by myself. It's nepotism you're doing right now by taking care of second generation wrestlers like Brock out here, and you haven't done anything for guys like a Go Go or Camarato or Solo Camarato or Go Go Solo. If you get what I'd like doing that. But Marshall basically said he wants to beat Cody's ass in an arena in a full house of people, and he said he challenges him to a strap match. Cody then took off his belt, wanting to fight. Then after that. But next, basically when they thought QT was leaving, QT came back. He ended up hitting Arn Anderson in the back with a belt. Then as Brock attacked QT in, and the referees broke everything up. Okay, there's some things to say about this whole segment. All right, number one, why am I still seeing this feud? Number two, QT does have a point about nepotism. Especially if we're getting a guy that we've never seen wrestle before, Arn Anderson's son. And here's the thing, it's like, wasn't Cody just teaming up with Lee Johnson last week? So why couldn't you just team up with him again? And he didn't even take the pinfall. So why are we seeing a guy that we've never even seen wrestle before? I don't know if he's good in that, but it's kind of crazy. Like, why are we bringing, Arn Anderson's son into this now? I don't know. I feel like all these nightmare guys are expendable. As my friend Steven said, Cody lives in his own universe. Okay, it's like everything else is almost AEW in a way, but Cody is like in his own little universe of AEW and his own little civil war. Because every person involved in this feud right now all came from his little nightmare family group, and now it's like this civil war of nightmare versus nightmare or factory or whatever this is. So it's just kind of odd now. Like, oh, we're gonna bring our Anderson's son into this. I don't know if he's good. Like I said, I've never seen him wrestle before. Maybe he does good next week. I don't know. But I just kind of find it kind of funny that, wait a minute, man, you had a different partner last week. Why are you teaming with him all of a sudden? And I'm assuming Cody and him will get the win next week. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of strange if you ask me. This whole feud is. I don't even want to see Cody versus QT2. I just don't want to see it. I don't. Even in a strap match. Oh, it's gonna be in a full house of people. Let me ask you this question: are a lot of people even gonna give a fuck once they start going back on the road again? Not the shows, I mean, just this match in general. Does anybody really want to see QT versus Cody again? Come on now. I don't really want to see it again. Uh, Pentagon Jr., Pac, Eddie Kingston went against the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler, Bitch Boy Cutler out there. Don Callis was on commentary. What can I really say about this 6-man tag? I know Pac and them didn't trust Eddie Kingston after the whole Death Triangle and Eddie trying to take his boys, take Pac's boys last time. But what can I really say about this? The match wasn't bad. When it comes to a lot of people say, well, it's a Young Bucks match. When you see a Young Bucks match, it's a typical Young Bucks match. Some would say more of a spot fest and whatnot. I'm assuming, I think Phoenix is hurt, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think did we see Phoenix at the pay-per-view? No, I think we didn't. Yeah, I think Phoenix is hurt, so that's why they got Pentagon and Pac just teaming up. What happened to Pentagon's translator when you think about it now? Because didn't they have Pentagon by himself for a hot minute, and then he had a translator coming out there with, and now he just kind of disappeared? What happened to him? And he's just now teaming with Pac again. I guess the Death Triangle, but didn't he have a manager to translate everything and speak for him? So I guess that's what they got Pac out there for. But I just kind of wonder what happened to his manager. He just disappeared all of a sudden. But yeah, they end up pinning Cutler. Pac did after Eddie hit his back fist on him after that. So yeah, the Death Triangle, Eddie won the match. The Pinnacle came out to cut a promo. Basically, FTR got in the mic first, saying, Stadium Stampede didn't go out as planned. But, it's not the type of match that, that was made for me and Wheeler right here. Basically, talk about Santana Ortiz. Talking about, we come from different backgrounds. Y'all come from New York. We come from North Carolina. And we're both similar. We came from nothing. All right? And I'm just trying to, fill my bank account and feed my family, as Hardwood said. Will said he doesn't have family, he doesn't give a shit, but he's want to fight for these people right here. And talked about, you guys have been in this company, Santana Ortiz, you guys have been in this company for 2 years, and yet you have still not touched the tag team titles. Sean Spears then cut a promo about Jericho. He's a joke. Talking about Sammy Guevara and his fanny pack and everything, which he started getting more pissed off till Tully had to calm him down. Wardlow saying that Jake Hager needs him. And then next week will be this MMA cage match they're going on for. And he says he's going to take him out. MJF saying, I idolized Chris Jericho growing up. And even a few years ago when they first had that rally, he looked forward to working with Chris Jericho and wrestling him and whatnot. But, it's a dream. It just didn't happen. And Jericho wants to challenge me again. And that happened. I beat you 2 times already. He did call Sammy Guevara and whatnot. Basically, it says, you trying to talk now? You want to fight? That's what you want? Basically, you're not the best talker, so I'm just better than you, and you know it. Chris Jericho then showed up on the big screen with a baseball bat, Floyd, and talked about the Pinnacle. I guess you guys could be walking home tonight. Next he started taking a whole bunch of hammers and beating up the limo then, writing El Barto like it's Bart Simpson. And as they're destroying the limo and whatnot, Jake Hager comes in with a forklift, slams into the limo, picks it up, and drops as the Pinnacle looks pissed. Jericho said, I think you guys better go call an Uber, as Guevara called MJF company bitch. It said, I'll fight you any day of the week. I'm kind of glad they brought the forklift in, because it looked kind of basic when they were just beating up the car and whatnot. It wasn't bad or anything. It was just kind of a little bit tame and whatnot. It's like, all right, come on, you gotta do more damage and just hit the damn windows and hit the windows and doors and whatnot. It's not enough damage on there. But yeah, the forklift thing made it a little bit better. This was better than the last time the Inner Circle kind of attacked the Pinnacle or did something. It's better than when they tried to imitate Stone Cold with the beer truck or the bubbly truck this time. So I like this segment a little bit more. But then again, I've said this before. Why am I still seeing this feud? Sting and Darby Allin were cutting promos. Darby saying he told Sting to stay at home. I need to do this next week in a handicap match. Sting said, "Well, we already beat them, man. Like I can do this again. Like you don't need me. Like you were already TNT champion when I came in. But Sting's all right. I respect your wishes." And Darby said, "Just stay home. Just stay home. Just stay home. All right." Um, and I guess Sting agreed. Sting did have a point. Like, we already beat these guys. Why are we facing them again? But because I think Scorpio and Ethan Page cut a promo later on talking about that he's an idiot. I told you to find a partner, not a handicap match. And basically, we're the man of the year or the men of the year and whatnot. So yeah, we're just gonna kick Darby's ass and we'll be the men of the year. I'm not gonna say like Scott because they're like, play Man of the Year by Schoolboy Q. That would be a great transition to play into that. Miro went against Evil Uno for the TNT title. They had a package about Evil Uno, kind of building sympathy with Brody Lee and whatnot, being his friend and even bringing the other Dark Order members out there. Listen, this wasn't a bad match. I don't give really that much of a shit about Evil Uno. Honestly, I still think like they're the worst members of the group. This wasn't a bad match. I never believed he was gonna win. I know some thought, oh, he got a close call. And I know they're doing stuff for Brody Lee still at this point. Because some people think it's kind of, I don't know. I'm not saying to keep paying tribute to Brody Lee or anything, but it's like this worked. It did work to gain sympathy since he does have a connection to the TNT title and whatnot. But let's be honest here. Who in God's name thought Evil Uno was ever going to win this match? Honestly, I'm surprised this match went on as long as it did. I'm surprised Miro just didn't come out there and kill the guy in under 5 minutes. It just killed this motherfucker. That's what I thought he was going to do. But I guess they had to put somewhat on. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match and everything. So it wasn't bad. But Miro, like I said, Miro is just doing great right now. I'm going to say this like I said many times. Why the fuck you didn't bring him in like this from the beginning with instead of do that whole bullshit video game thing? Because that wasn't working. Next, they had a video package for Andrade El Idolo, which was way better this time. Basically showing off the expensive clothes and the bling and the plane and whatnot, saying it's the Andrade, the face of Latinos. This was good. It was simple. It was effective. It got you. It basically what you need to know about him. All right, and no one didn't even have to talk. This was way better than the contrived promo with Vicky Guerrero last week, and how people didn't know if they wanted to cheer or boo him because of Vicky, and people could. I almost felt like people didn't know who the fuck he was last week when he came out there. So at least this was a better promo, simple and effective. Nothing much, nothing over the top, not a lot of talking. It's like, hey, this is what you need to know about him right now until he talks next week. All right, or they'll have Vicky talk for him. Kenny Omega and Don Callis came to the ring. Basically, they talked about Jungle Boy, how he survived that battle royale, and Don Callis saying it's a conspiracy to take the belt off of Omega. Callis basically said, Jungle Boy, he's good, but he's ultimately a one-hit wonder. And Omega basically talked about Jungle Boy. I see you as a young version of me, but you're missing something, and he's not sure about that yet. But Jungle Boy doesn't have the guts to get in the ring with him. Jungle Boy came out. Then after that, Omega doing one of his very long promo, heavy breathing. Sometime, Omega on promo. Sometimes it's okay, but there are times when it's just really bad. And Omega's like, you are going to do this. I am going to face you. Okay, you are not of my level. All right. And my hair, he said something about his hair. It was some words he was using. So it wasn't the worst promo, but Omega on promos, like I said, just have Callis do all the talking, okay? But this wasn't the worst one. Jungle Boy basically said, you talk way too much. I'm sure that'll be added on Botchamania, but then again, AEW wants to fuck with Botchamania a lot, so I don't know if that clip will ever make it there now. Next thing you know, Jungle Boy starts attacking Omega then. After that, he ended up taking him down, even put him into the snare trap. The Young Bucks tried to come for the save, but Jungle Boy got out of dodge him. So Not bad. Not bad of promo to hype up this match in the next 2 weeks, all right? And, I know it's not AEW's job, but they could kind of mention that tomorrow night is going to be Moose versus Omega for the Impact World title on Against All Odds since it's at Daly's place. So, I know it's not their job to hype up their show, but they could say, hey, make sure you check out Omega to defend his title tomorrow night. Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling were in the back. Basically, Sterling hyping up Cargill, saying that, her family has expensive taste and that we're going to be monetizing catchphrases and whatnot. As basically, she said she wants people to keep her name out her mouth. And her catchphrase is, I'm that bitch. So that's basically a catchphrase. Lance Archer went against Chandler Hopkins. Lance Archer won. Blackout. It was over. Squash match. Nyla Rose went against Layla Hirsch. I'm surprised this match went as long as it did. Not a bad match though. I'm surprised this wasn't a squash since they want to get Nyla Rose towards the the AEW Women's Championship and whatnot. But this was not a bad. The power bomb off the top rope did look deadly, so that wasn't bad. Layla Hirsch, really good in the ring. Like I said, really good. I like Layla Hirsch, so not a bad match. But probably it's hard to say about a lot of Nyla Rose matches because a lot of them are not really good. This was actually somewhat of a better one this time. But right after they went to Britt Baker, cutting a promo, saying that, Rose looked good flipping burgers last week and whatnot, but Britt Baker said that Rose just jealous on a long list of jealous bitches that want this title. And basically, she did a whole DMD thing and ended it off. All right. It's so funny with this feud. It's funny now they got Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose on TV all of a sudden now since they brought Andrade in. So hey, we got Andrade and Vicky Guerrero's managing him. So hey, let's try to make Nyla Rose relevant again. So that's why they need them back on TV. I just kind of thought about that now. Team Taz, Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs went against 10 or Dark Orders 10 and Hangman Page. Solid tag team match, not bad. Good tag. Obviously this is leading in Cage's somewhat slow face turn and whatnot since Hook and Ricky Starks got involved throwing the FTW title in there. Cage threw it back. Ricky Starks slapped Brian Cage. Then after that, Taz looked confused what was going on. Cage ended up chasing Ricky Starks. Hobbs was left in the ring. And whatnot. 10 was able to take down Hobbs with a cutter, and then Hangman hit the buckshot lariat and to win the match. Right after the Dark Horse celebrated, they can only give -1 a bottle of water, and I think Colt Cabana also. Everybody else had a beer with Hangman, but we can't give the kid beer. So we'll give him a bottle of water. But this was a better episode than last week, and that was like a Fallout show last week from Double or Nothing. I think this was a better main event last week, and there was some better matches going on because last week was not really good. I still think I don't need to see a lot of these feuds still continue, and I think they need to move on to something else. But at least this show was a little bit better than last week because a lot of that shit was bad. Okay, it was not good last week. It really wasn't. But other than that, though, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodNight890. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. And maybe I will review Against All Odds. We'll see what goes on with that. So, out.